This episode brought to you by Prize Picks. Run your game. Come check us out at Cleveland Gaming Classic, September 19th to the 21st in Cleveland, Ohio. Hope to see you there. Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Guy. Remember it so you don't have to. And welcome to another episode of Review Revisit. Did I do a title card for that? I can't remember. Anyway, I re-reviewed Pokemon the first movie because over 15 years ago, my style was very different, and I had about 10 minutes to talk about it, and I focused more on telling jokes than analyzing. Over the years, though, my style has changed. I'm revisiting old reviews and going into more detail about it. Seeing how I just saw this on the big screen, it's been on my mind, so why not? Growing up, I was absolutely obsessed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was one of those kids that had every toy, saw every episode. If a product had a Ninja Turtle on it, it had to be mine. So, as you'd expect, I loved the hell out of this movie. Next to maybe Batman, this was the VHS I watched the most growing up. Well, no matter what, I will always love this film. I will admit, when I grew up, I had a difficult time figuring out if it was objectively good. I still loved it, nothing can take that away, but if somebody asked me if this was good for someone who never heard of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't think I could say yes. There's a lot of things that are very impressive, but there's a lot of things that are very awkward and don't make a whole lot of sense. I think Roger Ebert put it best, saying while he didn't like the movie, it's probably the best possible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. In 1990, I think that's very fair. So now, 35 years after it came out, I wanted to go back and, yes, relive the good old days of Turtlemania, but see once and for all if I consider this objectively good or a nostalgic guilty pleasure. So let's concentrate hard to see rats in a campfire. Yeah, that's a side thing in this. Let's take a look at the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We open in New York City, and note to self exposition is a lot easier when one of your leads is a reporter.
Crimes without criminals, an invisible gang at work. Who are we gonna call? Unfortunately, the police.
That's Judith Hogue as April O'Neil. Well, originally I gave this version a hard time for not looking like the cartoon. I mean, if you grew up with this as your first love, so would you. She really does capture everything else about her perfectly. She's got the spunk, wit, heart, and most importantly, obsession with her job. I always said the big difference between her and Lois Lane is Lois did her job for the fame and to win awards.
Nobel Prize.
I'm supposing the biggest gun smuggling ring to hit this town in 10 years, and what makes the front page?
April does it because she loves giving information to everybody and is confident enough to know she could probably do the best.
I think you know just as much as I do about this Foot Clan, and I don't think you're doing anything about it. I doubt very much that Chief Stearns is taking this possible connection seriously.
This is great! I must really be on something hot if they're trying to kill me.
Lois is about the glory, April's about the story. Oh, and she wears yellow. Yeah, for whatever reason, you can change everything about this character, but as long as she wears yellow at least once, she's April.
Get away from me!
She stumbles across some robbers who try to mug her, but out go the lights, and she's suddenly saved. She finds the weapon of one of her rescuers left behind. Damn. Oh yeah, even though this was released in 1990, it's kind of an unofficial 1980s kids film. Okay, it's not Return to Oz or Secret of NIMH or anything, but it's shot more like Death Wish, that Saturday morning cartoon show, and doesn't mind teaching you at least one new vocabulary word.
Damn.
If they were allowed to chain smoke in this movie, they probably would.
Awesome.
Righteous!
I know everybody praises the turtle costumes in this, and honestly, they deserve even more praise. Jim Henson apparently had reservations working on this because of how violent it was. Well, you know, he had all that in his history.
What about my future? You don't have a future.
But you know, yes, because these still look amazing all these years later. They dirty them up, they look wet and sweaty. Compare these to the later Turtle movies, and you can see they did not phone this in. Imagining these actors trying to see through these masks and moving as naturally and quick as any teen would, while also choreographing fight sequences as precise as any martial arts fight that didn't have actors in pounds of foam and wires. As an adult, I'd see this as a really amazing achievement.
Give me free. You get it.
The film only had 7 weeks to complete, and because every studio was too afraid to touch it, fearing it was too risky in terms of the effects, it ended up being an independent film. The highest grossing independent film at the time. But because of this, while the turtles look great, they broke down a lot. Which is really eerie to see. Like, these moments I've watched a million times are suddenly disturbing as hell because it looks like they're having a stroke. What's happened? They just shot scenes of Splinter, but it's mostly a hand puppet. Plus, the scenes were a lot more gentler and slower, matching his father-like persona perfectly.
I suggest we all meditate now.
Even the orgasms when he meditates. What was that? The turtles are a touch different from how we knew them at the time. Donatello is certainly the brains, but he's not a super genius. Leonardo is still not that great a leader. In fact, he does very little leaderish things in this, but he does offer a lot of heart and sensitivity. And I guess they thought Michelangelo and Raphael were a little too similar in the cartoon, as they were both the lighthearted jokesters, so they made Mikey more the fun guy and Raph more the angry brooder. And this will carry over to a lot of future versions, as it does make sense, as he would be more the angsty muscle of the group, and it does feel like this lineup needs it.
Where did they come up with this stuff?
Gotta love when a mutant turtle in a trench coat says, well, that was far-fetched. We're also introduced to Casey Jones, played by Elias Koteas, who originally had a brief scene showing he's pissed off with violence in the world, so he adds more violence in the world. But in his version, they cut that out, so he's just a random grown man beating up misguided kids.
Class is paying 101. The instructor's Casey Jones.
Honestly, like a lot of the characters in this movie, though, the shine from the actors helps balance out a lot of moments that don't always add up.
About a 5-minute game misconduct for roughing, pal.
Raph says he's too rough on the kids, and again, the big fight.
I hate punkers, especially bald ones with green makeup. They wear masks over ugly faces.
I'll admit, even when I was a kid, I was thrown off that a giant turtle could fool everybody into thinking he's human by just wearing a trench coat and a hat. But after visiting New York, this scene here,
What the heck was that?
Looked like sort of a big turtle in a trench coat. You're gonna LaGuardia, right?
is very authentic. They could literally see a giant turtle running around, even with the passenger who voices that turtle, and they wouldn't think anything about it. It's surprisingly realistic.
I have tried to channel your anger, Raphael, but more remains.
The film does take time to address teenage anger, and actually, I'd argue that's probably the theme of the film. Splinter tries to understand and comfort a teen feeling angry and lost, but there's others out there back then, and certainly now, who try to exploit that anger and misguidedness for their own personal gain.
He poisons your minds to obtain that which he desires. He cares nothing for you or the people you hurt.
It was something as a little